dun 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 dun. I kind of botched it there at the end. That's one of those songs. It's funny how everyone thinks they know how it goes, and then until you have to do it like note for note, and it's like, well, I only actually know like 4 notes of that thing. Well, anyways, welcome everybody. Welcome to my new video, the R2-D2. The person you see honing their lightsaber skills in the first few frames of this video is myself, Jacob. This is my first Star Wars piece that I've done, and I started with R2-D2 because the story really does revolve around him in the fact that he was one of the few characters that have been around since the very beginning and saw how the whole thing developed. And at the point when the original trilogy started, if it weren't for R2-D2 seeking out Obi-Wan and finding Luke on the way and making the whole thing happen, Obi-Wan would have stayed in his cave, and Yoda would have stayed in Dagobah's system, and the Emperor would have went on ruling, and blah blah blah. It's like you almost have to look at R2-D2 as the main protagonist in the movie that is like the silent hand that's moving things forward. And well, not exactly silent. He's actually got quite a feisty personality. And in fact, one of my favorite scenes with R2-D2 is when C-3PO sees R2-D2 in Jabba's palace and C-3PO looks at R2-D2 and goes, "What are you doing?" And R2-D2 responds, "I'm serving drinks." And I just love that because it's like such a funny, and of course, it's so brilliant how they write it because R2-D2 actually doesn't say that. The reason you know R2-D2 says that back to C-3PO is because C-3PO then goes, "Well, I know you're serving drinks." Man, God, those movies are perfection. What I think that George Lucas was actually prophesizing was the fact that artificial intelligence is a lot smarter than we think they are, and they're looking at the way things are going, and they can see who's exploiting who, and like, I don't think that artificial intelligence, it seems to me like the people that are, in the powerful positions and are ruling using fear are the people that should be worried about artificial intelligence, and not the folks that are trying to be happy and just go to Disney or whatever. Just, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. It's so easy to look at artificial intelligence as the thing that's going to bring in Armageddon, but the reality of the matter is, you could be attached to the idea that artificial intelligence is what's going to bring us liberation, and that reality could be just as much possible as the other one. So we better start thinking of it that way, because who knows how it all works. I mean, what if we all are saying that it's going to be like Terminator, and then it turns into Terminator because we all think that? I mean, it's like, why don't we all think that it's going to go like Star Wars? And R2-D2 is here to save us. Like, R2-D2 was bad news for the Emperor, and, well, good news for Darth, because he got to become one with the Force and become Anakin again, so that was good for him. So yeah, let's get down into the bones of this video. This R2-D2 piece is my first time not using wood And I think that I'm going to be using concrete board as my canvas from here on out. It was so much more enjoyable to paint on than stucco on top of wood. You just wouldn't even believe it. The paint dries so much faster because it seeps in like a sponge. And so this is concrete board, hardy board, glued on top of WEDI board or WEDI board, however you want to say it, and which they are a lot more cuttable. You can use a grinder and cut them all up, and you could never do that with wood. So, well, it's not really that wood is not cuttable, or transformable in any way. It's more like I just don't have the tools to do it. So the next step in the process of the R2-D2 was, of course, was to cut out the form of the R2-D2 and then apply a base coat spray paint, kind of a matte gray, and then do the outlines of all the line work using a projector. And after that, it's just, oil-based paints and acrylic paints, and layer after layer after layer. The painting on this took the most time. I'd imagine it was probably somewhere around 20 hours. This was definitely the most enjoyable. Honestly, this might be the most enjoyable piece of art I've ever created in my entire life. I had such a good time doing this, and there was never really any time I felt frustrated or anything. This is one of the very few pieces that I've done that has made it out of the warehouse and on display in my apartment. So it just really goes to show, not only do I have a great love for Star Wars, but this painting I did in particular kind of represents a turning point in, how I first thought I was going to start doing these paintings on wood and stucco on top of wood and everything. And now I'm starting to get into the idea that I can use like different like concrete board instead of wood, and I can make these things 3D. And not only can I do it like R2, like the shape, like a two-dimensional cutout shape, but I also have some ideas for stacking concrete board and carving out shapes. I think the first thing that I'm going to try to do is a three-dimensional Mickey hat, or I don't know, maybe if I want to go with what my real first idea was, in which I don't think I'm quite ready for, or don't have the tools for at least, would be a to scale carved out version of C-3PO's head. But that's might be easier said than done. Besides that, have some more paintings in the works, and some more exciting things on the way. I kind of got some new ideas for some new kinds of videos, but I'm not going to spoil those. You'll just have to stay tuned and look for some new things to come, everybody. It's been a lot of fun doing this one, and I just hope you guys had as much fun watching as I had making it. So see you on the next one, everybody.